Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. You know, there's a couple of prerequisites for being a Democrat, traits that are required if you plan on joining the party, and especially if you plan on a career in government. If you want to be a Democrat politician, or you plan on having a career in politics, you have to be ready to be disingenuous, a liar. You have to be ready to do and say whatever it takes to attain power. That's just the way that it is if you have a D next to your name. But there's one new thing that I'm noticing. To be a good Democrat with a capital D, you need to be absolutely delusional. I've never seen such a group of incredible incompetent failures who continue to tout their success, pat themselves on the back, pat each other on the back, promoting this narrative as if they're accomplishing historic things. This administration is objectively a disaster. Everybody knows it, even Democrats know it. Democrats don't want more of it, based on every polling metric that we've analyzed, yet these clowns continue to promote this message as if they're the greatest thing since sliced bread. Karine Jean-Pierre joins the party, seeing her boss being touted as an incredible success, a vibrant man, achieving all kinds of things. Seems like she told herself, well, hey, I want to join the party too. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so during the days of Jen Psaki, we were in complete awe. Not because Jen Psaki was anything special or anything amazing, but because Jen Psaki, at least in my lifetime, was the worst press secretary in American history. After she left the podium, I thought to myself, you can't go downhill from here, most likely it's gonna go sideways. Someone just as bad as her. Then Karine Jean-Pierre joined the scene, and a new standard of low was set. Karine Jean-Pierre is by far, not even close to Jen Psaki, much worse than Jen Psaki, the absolute worst press secretary in American history. She is a complete goofball, a complete clown, unable to answer a simple question, flustered at the podium constantly. She has a history of either not knowing what the hell she's talking about, or straight up lying and deflecting. We know this. It's not even the same situation with Jen Psaki where Democrats were trying to defend her. We spent almost a year with Jen Psaki just completely debunking all the nonsense that she would say. It was obvious that she was awful, but Democrats were claiming that she was the greatest press secretary in American history. Chris Wallace said the same thing. Completely laughable considering she took over after Kayleigh McEnany, who was actually something credible. But with this Karine Jean-Pierre character, nobody's really leaping to her defense. It's not like Democrats are touting her as incredible. They kind of just pretend as if she doesn't exist because everyone knows she's a complete disaster. Well, everyone knows that she's a disaster except for the disaster herself, Karine Jean-Pierre. She recently did an interview, I'm not exactly sure what show, but she said this.
A year in this role, there's been a couple of things that has made me incredibly proud. Many things that made me incredibly proud to be at that podium during this historic moment. Again, this is a historic administration. I'm a historic figure and I certainly walk in history every day, but this is also a historic making administration because of this president.
Karine Jean-Pierre considers herself a historical figure. The frickin' LARP continues. These people view themselves as trailblazers, as Martin Luther King types, as revolutionaries. For what? It's completely laughable. Let's talk about Kamala Harris and Karine Jean-Pierre because they're basically in the exact same boat. Historical figures, breaking glass ceilings. They have it in their minds, and I don't blame them because the media kind of sets that narrative as if they're going to go down in the history books like Martin Luther King and other characters did. But there's a difference. It actually boils down to the core component of Martin Luther King's famous quote, famous speech, that we ought to look over character over color. Well, Martin Luther King had character, incredibly well-spoken, amazing charisma, had the ability to change a nation with his words. Karine Jean-Pierre has none of that. She is utterly incompetent, nearly illiterate, at least when compared to her colleagues, or the standard in government and the media, yet she's convinced herself that she's a historical figure. She will be forgotten immediately, and Kamala Harris the exact same thing. It's the frustrating part of affirmative action and Democrat ideology when it comes to identity politics. Gender, sexual orientation, and skin pigmentation are apparently the only criteria to being a historical historical figure. Long gone are the days of, results and accomplishments, historical significance, actually doing and accomplishing something. Long gone are those days, and in come the days of I check the boxes, therefore I am. It is a ridiculous affirmative action mentality, and it obviously makes no sense and does absolutely nothing for pushing the nation forward. What does this accomplish, this weird obsession with race, gender, and sexual orientation quotas? I mean, the standard is that you've already achieved history by simply putting somebody in a position with zero expectations of actually doing anything. Kamala Harris, the first Black Indian female vice president. She was literally picked for that reason. It's not like she earned that position. She was one of the worst performing Democrats on the debate stage during the Democrat primaries, yet she failed upwards purely based on her identity, checking boxes. And then she makes history and will go down as a historical figure? Absolutely not. Again, everyone's gonna forget her. I mean, of course, if schools stay woke the way that they are when they're teaching history, they're probably gonna emphasize on that fact, but how long is that gonna last? Today, kids were learning about historical figures. Kamala Harris, the first Black Indian female vice president in American history. She was an incredible historical figure. Then the kids ask, well, why? What did she do? Oh, well, don't ask stupid, bigoted questions like that. The reality is, she engaged in certain behaviors to get where she was in California. She was really good at forging relationships. She had a terrible track record as a corrupt prosecutor, as the top cop in California. Then she got knocked off the debate stage. It seemed as though her entire political career ended with one interaction with Tulsi Gabbard, then somehow magically stumbled into the position of vice presidency thanks to the woke nonsense that currently drives Democrat ideology. She failed at every single task handed to her during her time as vice president. Her office has been in complete disarray for 2.5 years, and all of her top staffers and top advisors have pretty much resigned at this point, and now she's a historical figure. It makes no sense. And it's the same thing with Karine Jean-Pierre. Well, what did Karine Jean-Pierre do, teacher? Oh, well, she refused to answer any question. She defended Joe Biden no matter what. She was lying and deceitful and incompetent, had a very poor grasp of the English language, and of course she refused to even call on any reporters who would ask her even a slightly hard-hitting question. Wow, great standards we have, going from actual incredible people who changed the world forever, that being the standard for historical figure, to whatever this is. It's just weird, cringe, and it's obviously the opposite of what you want in a strong society. Meritocracy should be the most important thing. Words like nepotism have an extremely negative stigma for a reason. Putting people in positions of power just because you happen to be related to them, or you happen to have close relationships with them, you grew up with them, is highly frowned upon, especially if that person is completely incompetent. I mean, it can be in certain cases where you promote your brother or your sister to a position, or your son or daughter, but they're highly experienced, motivated, and incredibly competent. In those cases, generally people don't have an issue, but simply promoting somebody because they're a relative, even though they're not qualified for the position, kind of like Hunter Biden at his Burisma gig, people view that negatively. It's nepotism. Well, affirmative action is the exact same thing. You're hiring somebody not because of their qualifications, not because they're good at their job, but purely because you've identified what's between their legs, who they like to sleep with in their bedroom, and because they hit a certain darkness shade in their skin complexion. It's completely freaking crazy. It's absurd. Karine Jean-Pierre, you are not a historical figure. You are a historical disgrace and clown. You are terrible at your job. And the fact that you haven't resigned in disgrace, considering all the embarrassment that you've brought upon yourself, the United States of America, and the White House, is really the biggest mystery, the biggest question of all. Holy moly, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. We'd love to have you here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.